This is making me furious. Endrick is barely getting minutes for Brazil. And before you call me biased, hear me out. Because the more I looked into it, the less sense it made. Brazil keeps giving opportunities to other attackers. Some are older, some are less productive, some don't create half the excitement Endrick creates every time he steps on the pitch. So what exactly am I missing? Because every time Endrick plays, he does something that makes fans ask the same question. Why isn't he playing more? And here's where things get weird. The answer isn't as obvious as people think. It isn't just his age. It isn't just experience. And it definitely isn't a lack of talent. In fact, the real reason might be much more frustrating. But before we get there, let's talk about the players getting minutes ahead of him. Because that's where this story starts. When Brazil needs a goal, who do they trust? When Brazil announces a squad, who gets the call? And more importantly, what have those players done recently that Endrick hasn't? That's the part nobody wants to discuss. Because if football was based purely on potential, Endrick would already be one of the first names on the team sheet. If it was based on excitement, he would be there too. And if it was based on making defenders panic, he'd be impossible to leave out. Yet somehow he's still watching from the bench. Why? That's the question. And the deeper I looked, the more I realized this isn't really about Endrick. It's about something football teams do all the time. Something that has cost countries trophies before. They become comfortable. Comfortable with familiar names. Comfortable with experienced players. Comfortable with what they already know. Even when something better might be standing right in front of them. And that's where Brazil could be making a huge mistake. Because football history is filled with stories of coaches waiting too long. Waiting for the perfect moment. Waiting for a young player to be ready. Waiting until next year. And then suddenly, that opportunity is gone. So here's the question Brazil fans should be asking. What if the biggest risk isn't playing Endrick too early? What if the biggest risk is waiting too long? Because every game that passes makes one thing harder to ignore. Endrick doesn't look like a player preparing for the future. He looks like a player who's already arrived. And if that's true, Brazil may already have their answer. They just haven't realized it yet.